Hi everybody, welcome back to IQ YouTube. We are here for you. So today we were trying to figure out which topic to talk about, and it was sort of unanimous within our team that we wanted to talk about how to decline a job offer, because what we're seeing happen a lot, right, especially with Gen Z, so that's all of you, is that you guys are, it seems, right, that all of you, and you'll have to weigh in below and tell me if this speaks to you or not, but are more concerned with a job that you're passionate about rather than a paycheck, right? So, you know, millennials, when we were, I am a millennial, when we were out looking for jobs, it was sometimes about paycheck over passion, and now that's sort of switching as your generation is kind of graduating college and coming into the real world. So on a side note, you have to tell me what you think about that. But today we're gonna talk about how to decline the job offer, because let's be honest, every job is not gonna be a fit for you guys, right? And sometimes you don't know if it's gonna be a fit or not until you go through the interview process and you learn more about the company and you meet the team and yada yada. Or maybe you just get another opportunity that's better suited for you, so you have to decline a job offer. So just like anything else, there is a way to do it, right? There is a way, and that's what we're gonna talk about today. So I do have my notes today because I have a couple things to go over. So the first thing I want to go over is just reminding you guys that a job has to be a fit for both people. And the same thing goes for an internship, right? If it's a fit for the company, but you have an icky feeling in your stomach, it's probably not going to work. So it has to be a fit both ways. They have to say yes to you and you have to say yes to them. It's a mutual agreement here. So keep that in mind. I would say when it comes to declining a job offer, try to be really mindful of the company timeline, right? So if you get an email and it says, here's the job offer, we'd really like you to make a decision within 48 hours. Okay, so the company is telling you their timeline. Try to be mindful. Maybe you need to ask them for a little bit more time. That's happened to me, that's okay. But try to be mindful of their time because they're trying to do who knows what on their end. So you wanna make sure that you're not holding it up too much, especially if you're gonna end up declining the offer. Another note I have for you guys is don't brush off something immediately because the pay isn't where you want it to be at. I was just listening to a speaker talk about this the other day. It's like, well, what are the non-monetary things, right? What are the other perks that they could give you or offer you that might make it worth it for you? So let's say the pay's okay, but it's not exactly where you want it to be. What about paying for your lunches? What about reimbursing your gas? Or if you're in New York City or any big city really, right? Reimbursing your Metro pass or your Metro ticket. What are the things that they could do to sort of sweeten the pot? I remember, and if she's watching, she'll know who she is. I had someone move out to Los Angeles. She got hired at Intern Queen, and we didn't have an office yet. And so she asked if the company could reimburse like a desk because she had just moved here and didn't have a workspace at home. And if I remember correctly, we said yes to that, right? So like, what are the things outside of a paycheck that the company could offer you to sort of sweeten the pot and maybe make it worth your while? And then I would say if you're declining a job offer, depending on your relationship with the person who's giving you the offer, of course, pick up the phone, express your gratitude, and sincerely decline over the phone. And then you could also follow up just so that you have it in writing in email format as well. I would follow up on that conversation regardless, either with an email or even with a handwritten card. You guys know I'm big on handwritten cards. And then actually stay in touch with the company. I interviewed, and I always wonder if these people are watching, but I interviewed a girl in New York kind of recently. I loved her. I still love her. I think she's amazing. I'm a big fan of hers. I offered her a job. It wasn't a fit for her at the time because of, I'm sure, 100 different factors, but she was so transparent with me in her note back. She picked up the phone, she called me, she sent me the nicest email, and then she's actually stayed in touch with me, and I actually just emailed her about something random the other day. So it can be really nice when people actually stay in touch. And it's funny how I know her. I know her because she applied for a job with me, I offered it to her, and she declined, but we're still in touch, and she's actually introduced me to some great people. I know she believes in my company and my mission, and the relationship's really been, I think, a win for both of us, so you never know what can happen. And then I would just remind you that the goal here, right, when declining a job offer is to waste as little time as possible. And a lot of time does go into the interview process, the vetting process, especially if there's been multiple rounds of an interview, the training process. So keep in mind that the goal is to not waste your time and also not waste the company's time. So if there's a way to decline the job offer before you start the job, that is the best thing you can do. It does get a little bit murky once you've come to a company, you've started, they've gone out of their way to train you, to onboard you, and then you leave. So just be mindful of the company timeline when declining a job offer. If you guys have any other questions about how to decline a job offer, and it's okay, it happens, such is life, ask me in the comments below. Thanks everybody.